jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFN game, A-Side Official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know WC is back on the building. Now, to get started, of course, I have to give you the pre-tro. The pre to the intro. The pre-tro. So, as you all know, if those of you that was tuned in, Lamont Roach is still 25-1, but with 2 draws, okay? He went to a draw with Gervonta Davis on the night of March 1st, 2025, a fight card that was put on by Prime, affiliated PBC. You know what I'm saying? His other draw would be in 2018, April, against Orlando Cruz. And that was in a 10-rounder, okay? I know you all really don't want to talk about how many draws Lamont had, but he had 10 knockouts. He has 10 knockouts currently. You know, hosting 25 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws. He's 29 years of age. Now, the good part about this is that he was in there with an opponent. One of the hardest hitting opponents. Pound for pound fighter. One that I consider to be El Chin Checker. Now, a lot of people are saying that Lamont Roach styles make fights, and he pretty much executed the right game plan. You know what I'm saying? So that game plan coming against the one and only Gervonta Tank Davis, who's 30 victories in, 0 defeats, and 1 draw. Okay? So, what is the big controversy with this fight? If you look at on the thumbnail, Tank said, in reference to one of the most controversial moments that we've had in a long time, okay? Not to skip rope too fast. I want to just say something. When it comes to the sport of boxing, there's always controversy. You know what I'm saying? You wear it like a bow tie. You wear controversy like your best suit. But it's a stain on it that you can't get out. That's boxing. It's look, boxing is always going to send you somewhere, and you're not going to be 100%. You know what I'm saying? The way you're supposed to. Boxing is the type that'll get you dressed up in a nice suit and tell you to slide on some goddamn Crocs. Ain't nobody gonna be looking. That's how dirty boxing is. Boxing had you doing some awkward shit out here. Like trying to figure out why a referee wasn't trying to be a referee when it came time for him to give a fighter an 8 count due to a knockdown. But yet, you got too many Tank haters out here trying their best to hold Tank accountable for that decision and not Steve Willis. Let's get down to the get down. That was a 12-round championship showcase in the Barclays. Okay? 12-round showcase. One that we've been waiting on for quite some time because there was so much discontent that Tank was bringing up a 130-pound champion. Nobody wanted to see. So heading to this fight, man, Lamont Roach is a human being. He was serenaded with a lot of freaking disrespect. Man, they were saying some crazy thing about Lamont. Like he didn't even earn his slot as a champion. Yes, he beat a common opponent of Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia to pick that title up. What a coincidence. Now he's about to fight a common opponent, a Hector Luis Garcia and Tank Davis. And that's exactly what happened. I try my best not to get on here and start telling you stories that come off as murder mysteries. You know what I'm saying? Investigative series. BMS, Raising Cain, Snow White. You know, I wasn't trying to make this about that because something told me leading up to this fight that Gervonta Davis, being really good friends with Lamont Roach, there was going to be some kinship. You know what I'm saying? Some decorum with these two. Some tact, bearing, respect. A band of brothers. I seen it in the presser. Tank didn't want to really go in on him. He didn't want to give him the disrespect that he gave previous fighters. So I was asking myself, hey man, do you believe that Tank is going to give maximum effort to go in here and decapitate Lamont Roach like he's tried so many other fighters? I was talking to me. I was having a conversation with self. I wanted to have a conversation with self because I felt strong that self was going to give me the answer that I wanted. And self came back and said, hell no. This man is not going to go in there and put forth max effort to beat Lamont Roach down like Crawford did Sean Porter, a fighter that was his good friend. I said, hell no, it ain't happening. So then again, I switched it up. I said, well, check this out then. If you think he's not going to go in there and try to take his head off, do you think these fighters are going to move around? Just pace themselves. Shuffle and tussle. Just give the fans a little bit as if they're fighting, but really ain't doing shit. Which one do you want? The first one or second? I'll take the second one. I think they're going to move around and they're going to give you just enough that they want you to have, and that's going to be it. They're not going to really go into it. They're not going to get down. They're not going to put on that battle armor. They're not trying to cause maximum damage to one another. They're family, bro. So this is what I seen. I seen two fighters and Davis and Roach go in there and move around. I seen some very solid work put in by both fighters. Now, a lot of people are complimenting Roach because he was in there with a high technical boxer, puncher, and Tank. Lamont Roach, in my opinion, he's a very technical fighter, and he did way better than I thought he would. Okay? But also, I say he did way better than I thought he would due to the game plan that Tank was executing. Now, that game plan, you know, when I explain it, it pisses people off because it seems like that I'm saying Lamont Roach performed the way he did because Tank wasn't putting out maximum effort to kill him, to destroy him, to incapacitate, oppress, bully, prove that he is who he say he is. Tank did not give us that side of him. He didn't give us the side that usually disrupt the conscious rhythm and allow fighters' eyes to blink when they're standing up at the lights and the referee is serenading them. Tank has been known to do that. Give fighters a short, quick nap, and when they wake up, they're in their locker room with ice on their forehead. I mean, we've seen that. But a big part of me said that Roach wasn't going to get that type of energy, and he didn't. Out of 12 rounds, Tank might have put forth just a little bit. Not even a total round. I would say 2 to 3 rounds. And that's not even all the rounds. I'm just talking about within 2 to 3 rounds. I didn't really see him going in there for the kill. I didn't see Tank on a mission. And I understand, once again, it was respect there. Friend. He respect his boy. He wasn't trying to go in there and flatline him because he wanted him to be able to continue to excel. If you ask yourself, why does WCS say that? Is because there has been conversation out here on when boxers step in the square with Tank Davis, their boxing and praising value goes up. Their FICO score increases. We've seen fighters like Rolly Romero get a title shot off the Tank. Isaac Cruz get a title shot off the Tank. Ryan Garcia gets a title shot off the Tank. You know what I'm saying? And now you have a champion from a lower division. Potentially, he may get a rematch after fighting Tank. So when fighters step in there with Tank, it's some platinum benefit to it. It is. It's so-called open up some more doors. And from what I'm hearing from all these newly voluntary fans that's on the Lamont Roach side, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. If I can do a voice analysis of some of you that's now on the Lamont Roach freaking wagon, you know what I'm saying? His little red wagon. Now y'all on board with it. Y'all are some goddamn sometimey switch it up bipolar type of boxing fans. Now you on the Lamont Roach wagon. I want to goddamn advocate for him to have a second fight in a rematch because I think he can win. I want to see a rematch too, for y'all's sake. Okay? I want to see a rematch for you all's sake. Now, during that fight, there's a lot that took place, which I'm not going to revisit, all because it's nothing to revisit. I said what I said about them moving around. I didn't feel it was a full-blown fisticuffs. I just didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking at somebody transforming due to the bruises and their jawline and cheekbones being on the front end of the gloves. I just didn't see that taking place. I seen like, let me hit you in areas where it's not going to show us punch or hurt. Yeah, Tank hit Roach up top in the head, but I didn't think it was something that was terrible, right? I didn't see it. But let's get to the ninth. Nueve. Nueve. Yes, nueve. Ichi ni sanji. Go roku hakuju. Let's look at nueve. Around nueve, they say that something went wrong. This is why my thumbnail has the loctician. They have some brothers who have gotten braids. I think some of them are boxers. I think some of them boxers. Once this picture was taken, they later went on to fight in the cage in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And also to my right, I have some products that are manufactured and have been identified as suitable, healthy hair products for my black people. Yes, those of you know Murray's. You know what I'm saying? You have the Slick Hole styling pomade, branding gel. You know, you have all the Stay Soft Fro in there. I don't know which one was on Tank's freaking skull, but there has been a response. Leap, the brand, the female. All right. Hold on for a second. She has spoken. Yes, Leave the Brand has spoken, and everybody have her. Like him not saying her name has her all over X and IG. All over. She's really getting some good airtime, yo. I'm gonna be honest with you. She's getting some real good airtime. No shocker. No knock on her. No knock on her. She just did what she's supposed to do. Nothing less, nothing more. She did what she was supposed to do. I'm trying to find this good, solid pic because on her IG, she really. Hold on for a second. She really doesn't. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna get too far into it, but Leave the Brand, the woman who fixed Javante's hair, she's out of the Bronx. She said she used no hair grease, none. So all the hair grease that you see up here on the thumbnail, she used none of them. She used no hair grease. So moving on from the no hair grease, right? There's another area that we have to look into. We have to ask the question, what was wrong with Javante Tank Davis's eyes? There has been many speculations by onlookers, unqualified physicians, but onlookers, content creators, bystanders, you know what I'm saying, hitchhikers. Everybody's chiming in on this, y'all, because they want to be a part of something. They say, hey, man, I want to be a part of this right here. I have to put my common sense into the fray. You know what I'm saying? I have to. Now, with this hair, at 2 minutes and 18 seconds in the 9th round, a situation occurred. The hocus pocus of boxing reappeared. What I like about the hocus pocus of boxing is they don't give you half a trick. They give you the whole trick. And then they dare you to say it was a trick. And if you do, they're going to ask you to prove that it was a trick. Because there's no way that something like this can happen. You know what I'm saying? That a fighter like Tank Davis can basically take his own time out by touching his knee on the ground. And Steve Willis, the referee over 230 plus professional fights, have refereed some of the biggest championship fights. He himself started the count. Once Lamont Roach was in the neutral count corner, he picked up a count from the timekeeper ringside. But yet it was called off. Tank was over there taking his own time out, intermission. Go get your popcorn, go get a drink. Tank is pretty much, you know what I'm saying, getting his whole upper torso from above his shoulders to his head and negating his hair, washed out, cleanse, you know what I'm saying, detox. They did some exfoliation up there, you know what I'm saying, gave him some of the most purified water ever. They cleaned out and scrubbed his pupils. They made sure that his eyesight was good enough, was clear enough for him to return back out there and keep his title. So the situation was that the boxing public had was, why was Tank Davis able to take a time out? Why was he able to take a time out and not be called for a DQ when the referee did not authorize it? Now, just hear me out a little bit. And shout out to the Mac Mob earlier. He had a great panel as always. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out Fistiana for talking her shit, because there's not a lot of female boxing enthusiasts. But if you're listening, I'm not trying to cause no conflict with nobody. I like education from people who know what the hell they talking about. It may not come off that way to me, but I do. When I learn something, I'm not going to tell you I did. I'm just, every now and then I might. And when I learn something from you, I won't tell you I did it. But God damn it, you can rest assured I'm going to use it again. You can rest assured I'm going to use it again. You might not be around when I regurgitate it or retransmit it. But God damn it, internally, I'm going to use it again. But it was a great live. They made some solid points over there. You know what I'm saying? They made some very solid points. And the biggest controversy of it all is three layers here. When the knockdown happened, was it because of a punch? Many are saying it was because of a punch, because he did get hit with a right hand and then he took a knee. Okay. Javante said he took a knee because he didn't want to get knocked out. I say when he says he didn't want to get knocked out, is him basically saying, I can't see. I didn't get too much from him saying, oh, I just got hit, so I took a knee so he can stop punching. I think he took a knee because he had impaired vision, whatever that case was. There have been times that fighters have substance on their hands. You know what I'm saying? You never know what it is. Substance on their face, substance on the gloves. You never know. Sometimes Vaseline can get in a fighter's eye sometime, depending on what it is. But all I'm saying, is, on that first phase, that's what it was. Did it land from a punch for him to take a knee that Steve did not professionally follow through with? I don't know. I can't tell you. Second, should anyone be talking about Tank Davis taking a knee, and it is now becoming the kneel of the century? Tank Davis is a part of the kneel of the century, y'all. You know why do I say that? Because everybody is talking about him kneeling, and he's not used to being in that position. I never saw him up there assisting with the protest with Colin Kaepernick. I don't know if any new protests is going on in boxing, but that man took a seat. He took a kneel, he genuflected, and you have to say to yourself, what's next? What should he have done? Why wasn't the knockdown call to preface this fight the right way? There was questions being asked, and it's nothing like a good ask. You know what I'm saying? Questions was being asked. Do you think Tank won from a draw? No. Do you think Tank won the fight? No, I didn't think Tank won the fight. Then that means Lamont Roach won the fight. No, that's not the case. Yes, because if he would have got the knockdown, Lamont Roach. See, one thing I cannot process nor play around with, as if I just learned how to read, is leading deception. We're talking about something that's internal to a conclusion, internal to the fight, that basically altered the conclusion. The altered conclusion was that Tank wasn't scored or wasn't handed or wasn't stamped or wasn't recorded for the knockdown. They did not record that officially. So he didn't get the knockdown. Now that is an absolute problem on those who are qualified and licensed to be individuals with a voice to either sustain that count and make it a knockdown and wait till somebody else come and overrule, or to just do away with it. And that's what Steve Willis and whoever else that was a part of that chose to do. They did away with the knockdown. I'm telling you, as a Tank fan, that should have been a knockdown. Now, if you're going to ask me the final layer with the ghost, you know what I'm saying? The kneel of the century. If you're going to ask me in hindsight about certain scenarios that deal with the kneeling, you can't ask me what the scores are and then ask me, okay, do you agree with the scores? Yes, I do. I agree with the scores. But who would have won if if they would have called a knockdown? I don't know. Because my whole intent is to make it like this. This is so you won't be informed. Okay? I want the transmission process to go like this. If the situation occurred at that moment where Tank Davis was a part of the knockdown, it was official. Steve Willis followed through with it, and Tank Davis now know he has a registered 9th round knockdown. Now let's understand. Let's dive into the mental aquatics, okay? Because a lot of motherfuckers drown in this bitch. I'm not talking about the aquatics over there with goddamn snorkeling gear, deep sea diving. No, we're going free diving on this one. Because the ones that I want to drown is the ones that was meant to drown, okay? Let's go to the boxing aquatics and try to figure this out. Tank Davis was not called for a knockdown. Tank Davis box rec. His box rec now. If you look at his box rec, he has his first draw. Tank has his first draw on his record, and the opponent is Lamont Roach. Now, check this out now. I want us both to have the ability to troubleshoot this. Do we understand that a lot of what we debate and argue, when we validate our points of reasoning, it's because of something that we can link it up to, similar, if not exact, to a situation that we are currently dealing with. So we have had situations where fighters should have been knocked down, called for a knockdown, and it wasn't. We just seen it with Virgil Ortiz not too long ago. But with Tank, he didn't call it. So if that would have been a 10-8 round, what was Tank's mentality would have been if he was down on the scorecards in the back end of the 9th round, okay? How would his mentality, mindset, energy, aggressiveness, how would his attack mode be heading into the championship rounds for 9 minutes? You have 9 minutes to change everything. or else you getting a 1 on your record. And this is where WCS comes in with steel toe boots. Because I'm kicking it around. I'm kicking the idea around like, y'all have seen Tank Davis fight before, right? You do know he can be a mean fighter. So it's not saying that Lamont Roach would have made it to the final bell if Tank would have been registered with a knockdown in the 9th round. We don't know what would have happened for Tank. We don't seen this man crash the fuck out. We don't seen him go ballistic in there. If Tank would have been called for that knockdown and it was recorded as a 10-8 round, my people, all the compeers, colleagues, the casual boxing fans, the hardcores, let me tell you this. You would have been feeling a little bit different. I'm kind of glad that fight played out the way it did. I'm kind of glad the auxiliary is mechanically functioning the way it is when it comes to the boxing conversations of this particular fight. I'm glad. I'm glad it wasn't ruled a knockdown, because I think Lamont Roach's health would have been in jeopardy if Tank would have found out it's a 10-8 round. That's the first time he's been down for the count. I think straight up destruction and the absence of conscience would have played out in front of us. And the ability for him to recover would have been grim within that window of recovery where the referee is serenading you. I don't think Lamont Roach would have been able to recover. And that's another compliment I want to say dealing with that situation. When you all look on Tank Davis' record, he didn't lose. The fight was a draw. So you must respect it as a draw. But also what I want you to respect is there would have been a high possibility if Tank would have received a knockdown. I repeat, if Tank would have received a knockdown, I repeat, over, please respond. If interference, over, do you copy? If there would have been any type of recording, a register of a 10-8 round, I think this whole entire final 9 minutes within this champion showcase in the Barclays Centers, I think Tank would have left a lot of you in disbelief. I seriously do. Y'all know why I would say that? Do y'all know why? I mean, for those that was in attendance, you too may have had to bend the knee in prayer. Because I feel if Tank Davis would have got a knockdown recorded in his name, there would have been strict consequences, bro. Strict consequences. I don't think Lamont Roach would have made it towards the final bell. Seriously. I know that got you bubbling inside, goddammit. I know y'all hot. This ain't personal, goddammit. And if your name ain't Javante Tank Davis, don't come over here acting like it is. But I know you bubbling. I just want to continue to remind the people that the knockout didn't count. The knockdown did not count. Knockdown did not count. The knockdown did not count. If you look at this box rec, it says a draw. It's not going to depict a descriptive knockdown at 2 minutes, 18 seconds in the 9th round. Why? Because it's not there. Where's that? Memories. Does those memories translate over to box rec? No. As calm and sincere as I possibly can to all you boxing enthusiasts, you hardcores out there, and you lazy casuals, you know what it is. As calm and sincere as I can possibly be, if Tank would have been awarded a knockdown and given the count, he would have said, fuck friendship. I'm about to do this boy bad. Everybody up to that point was saying Lamont Roach is doing so great. His style and everything complements him well against Tank. He's doing this, that, and the other. We've seen it before, yo. I mean, come on. We've seen it, man. Once again, Tank was the smallest man in the ring. No one's talking about that. He was the smallest man in the ring, but nobody cares. Lamont Roach is 130 pounder, and so many of you all was doing complaining about him bringing up 130 pounder. And goddamn Roach is big, bro. Roach was pretty damn bigger than Tank. So when y'all gonna accept the fact he is a 130 pounder fighter? Roach comes up 130, and Tank is not even rehydrating up like that. But if I may say, I know behind the scenes in areas that I can't really have some audio, because I can actually hear what y'all saying behind the scene. All the disapproving glances. I know y'all out there. I know you feeling some type of way. I know you are. There's nothing to be ashamed about, but I know it's some people feeling some type of way, and they goddamn teeth are chattering. I know. But understand this. I got to commend Tank for getting that A-side treatment. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad they played dumb. I'm glad that knockout didn't register, because these people are stuck on the hindsight for which the knockout was canceled and the way Tank Davis finished the fight. But I'm trying to tell them through all the warning signs, if that man would have registered a motherfucking 9th round knockdown of Tank and it was a 10-8 round, all destruction would have commenced from that point on. He was being nice. Calvin, Barry Hunter would have said, hey, bro, I know you respecting your boy, but you need a knockout. However you want to give it to him, give it to him. Signed, sealed, and delivered. No signature needed. I guarantee you, we'll be talking about a whole different outcome. Cats will be up here talking about, hey, WCS, can I ask you a question, though? So, okay, you know, up to that point when Lamont Roach knocked him down, right? Who did you have winning that fight? I had it a draw. Even with the knockdown, you asked me what I thought, nigga. I got the draw at that time. Okay. All right. You got a draw. Okay. So, did you think it was good refereeing from that point on? I mean, it just seems like Tank, man, I don't even want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear any complaints that y'all have about Tank. If the knockdown would have registered, somebody would have went to the hospital. That's all WCS is saying. If Tank would have registered, what Steve Willis did for Lamont, it saved him from the ER. Y'all know he saved him from the ER. It's right after Christmas, third quarter into the freaking 2025 calendar year, and we have one of the most controversial fights. Reason being that Tank took a knee and it wasn't considered or notated as a knockdown. Okay, so with that being said, there was a lot of Gervonta Tank Davis. What you call them people? It was a lot of Gervonta Davis's haters, critics, what's the other word that start with a H I just used? Haters, critics. That was a lot out there. I don't think they watched the whole fight. They was pretty much watching what Lamont Roach do, and then they want to ask you, well, how did you grade the fight? Lamont Roach, when the ninth round came, I had Lamont Roach up all 9 rounds. He seemed like he was the only one fighting. Yeah, because you was looking at him, and you weren't looking at both of the fighters. But I really think Steve saved the fight for a healthy conclusion, because I truly think Tank would have crashed out on Lamont Roach for a freaking 9 minutes. I truly do. I think he would have got behind his jab and really start fighting the way he wanted to if that wasn't his friend, and start breaking him down. You know what I'm saying? I think it would have been a late 11th round or a 12th round stoppage if they would have told Tank that knockout counted. Y'all agree or disagree? It really don't matter, because I know some people are very upset. I get it, man. A lot of y'all are upset, bro. Y'all want to go somewhere and look for that boxing metropolis, and you want to go in there and just give a moment of prayer and meditation. I know. You thought you had one easy last night. Yeah, you did. You thought you had one easy. You thought that what you were seeing early rounds, that Tank was going to face his first loss, especially after that phantom freaking, timeout that Tank took. You all thought that. You thought it was over for Tank. You wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? They wanted it to be, yo. They were saying, God damn, we finally get our retribution because he won't fight Shakur Stevenson. God, I hate that nigga. Come on. When they was reading the freaking scores and it was pending, man, it was people on their feet. They was at a 3-point stand. Come on. Come on. Give me the numbers. Come on. Come on. God damn it. I mean, I was thinking about playing some somber music to wait for the cars, but them, you want to go right into mosh pit. Heavy metal. The way they was up here and goddamn hurrying up trying to rush the cars. So Steve Weisfeld, you know what I'm saying? Steve Weisfeld thought that he was one half of the pair, the tandem, who felt that it was a draw. And like I said before, in my honest of all honesty, representing the pantheon of boxing, I do feel like some signs are better presented to the boxing public indirectly. I wouldn't have want this to be done directly because people wouldn't have appreciated it. But this blessing right here was given indirectly. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is that I'm glad that Tank wasn't called for this knockdown, because he would have crashed out on Lamont. He would have crashed out on him. Y'all know it. Stop playing. Stop playing, acting like he wasn't crashed out on him. He found out he was down on the scorecards, man. He would have crashed out on him, bro. Come on, stop it. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Lamont Roach might have retired after this fight. They saying, hey, Tank, the plan was to move around, get to the 12th, and call it a day. You got your check. He got his. Everybody's still cool. And let's wait for a couple of weeks to die down so we can see if we're going to do this rematch. All right? That's where we at with it. Let's see, can we get this rematch done? All right, cool. No problem. But if that knockdown would have counted in the 9th round, I swear to God, this whole entire media blitz, the transmission of messages would have been different. People would have been sending out their helpful wishes and blessings, putting up prayer hands and doing all that shit. We really hope Lamont Roach is doing great. We really want to bring Roach back and full recovery. Father God, we pray unto you in your precious holy name, Father God. We pray unto you like no other. We ask that you lay your hand upon Roach because we didn't see this coming, Father God. Oh, we was hoping to see Tank Davis go over there and just box. Yes, Father God, we wanted a challenge, but we didn't think he would do him a favor like that, Father God. We know these two fighters was moving around and they was shuffling and bustling. They wasn't giving us the real because they enjoy one another as family. They love one another as family. They didn't want to go in there and cause no serious harm. They know what this man is about, whose L is the L chin checker. They know that boxing. They know this. People wanted to be fierce, back and forth exchanges. No, you wasn't going to get that the whole fight because they have respect. Well, one thing about Father God, I trust in his holy name, in him blessing the boxing public and the two fighters that was in the ring, because he allowed the referee to prevent that from being a knockdown, which further saves Lamont Roach consciousness while being viewed by millions. So we should stand up and thank Tank. We should thank Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? For helping out Lamont Roach. Because Lamont more than likely would have seen the worst side ever of Tank Davis if they told him, hey, you need a knockout. Okay? You need a motherfucking knockout. That damn knockdown they just called right now, buddy, you need a knockout. So you're saying to close this chapter with that knockdown, I'm obviously I'm doggy paddling, you know what I'm saying, just below the surface. So you're saying I need to do something drastic to get this win. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Say less. Say less. See, that's the part I wanted to try to explain, but people think I just tell stories. I cannot say that Tank would have lost the fight based on if he would have gotten the knockdown, because the knockdown came at a time where it was called off and the rest of the fight went the way it went. But what about the knockdown if it's not called off? What type of damn turbulence are we going to witness? The thunder with the lightning and everything else that would have precipitated on freaking Lamont Roach's carcass. You know what I'm saying? How many rounds would Lamont Roach would have lasted if Davis recorded his first knockdown? Huh? Ask yourself that. How many? Yo? Let's go back to this slide right here. Terrence Crawford didn't. He wasn't feeling the decision in a delightful way. Terrence Crawford said they robbed that boy, and it's crazy. Look at that money shot. Lamont Roach hit Gervonta Davis with a nice shot. It's boxing, right? It's not the first time the Gervonta's been hit. Right? But he survived because Gervonta has the spirit, the spiritual center of a gladiator. And that's why I'm glad at this early in the year, Lamont Roach is not wired up at the ER. He's not in there looking like Schofield. You know what I'm saying? He's not in there looking like Kid Austin. All because he scored a knockdown on Tank. Do you know how happy I am that knockout wasn't recorded? Do you know how happy I am? Serious. It's just like a handyman fixing some real technical shit. And, you thought you was going to be extremely late at the one job, but you ended up getting it done. I'm extremely happy, man, that shit didn't go all the way through. That it was called off. I'm very happy. They can remain fans, and friends, associates, or whatever the case may be. But I have to say this. You fight fans is out there taking this the wrong way. Those of you that's going to need medication this week, stop talking about shit that is not going to change. That box rec ain't going to change, shawty. Now, I heard somebody did request for Lamont Roach to petition. Okay, if Lamont wrote petition for that to be changed, he probably won't see the rematch. Okay? There's people who are extremely salivating. Like I said before, frothy mouth. They're foaming at the motherfucking mouth, drooling on themselves like they don't have not one motherfucking tooth in their mouth. They gumming it. They drooling on themselves. I like the sleeves. I didn't see Lamont Pierce. No, that's the wrong one. Lamont Pierce ain't the wrong one. Lamont Roach fight Javante Davis again because he won that first fight. Let me help you understand clearly. Okay? Let me help you understand clearly what you're asking for. These two have a rematch clause. WCS has no problem seeing a rematch between these two. I actually enjoyed the fight. But the rematch has to happen to pretty much seal up any type of misconception that Lamont Roach is on Javante Davis level. We need to seal up that. You know what I'm saying? That hyper tunnel. You know what I'm saying? We need to seal that up. We don't want people thinking they can jump over here, come from somewhere else in time and talking some bullshit they're not up to yet. Now, if you're coming from the future, okay, we might hold you down for a little bit. But we don't want nobody coming from the past and they come up here talking about, well, I want y'all to, and be aware, y'all got a fighter called Tank. He's going to have a little problem with this new guy, but he going to win the fight. It's just when he scored that knockdown, tell that guy Roach, I think that's his name. From where we from, that's something else. But tell the guy Roach, anything he do to try to get that goddamn knockdown, it ain't going to happen. But you're going to do your best, and you'll be able to get a rematch. But know this, out of the two fights, you're only going to get one loss, which will contribute you to your second loss. That's what I wanted to bring to you all over here from the future. Tell them, don't say that knockdown was legit. Because from what we saw in the future, and that dude ain't gonna never be the same. Lamont Roach is never gonna be the same. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna talk the same. He ain't gonna look the same. Don't do it. That goddamn Javante Davis is what you call a crash out mercenary. Don't motherfucking do it. Let me get to the chat because I know they saying some lovely things. Shout out to my guy Haynes Legacy in the building. Hope you all is well, my brother. You already know what the prayers are. You know what I'm saying? Mike is in the building. Christopher White in the building. What it do, Chris? How you feeling, man? No, I want the rematch. I'm going for a Tank once again. I think Tank could do better. I think Tank could do better too, man. I do, man. Andrew, what it do, man? What's up with you? Carlos Rosado, what it do, man? Salute to you in the building. Tank was on his knee like he was ready to propose. Yeah, Tank was on his knee. I think he was on his knee because he was just stretching out his freaking hamstring, for real. I don't believe it was any type of punch that rendered that type of genuflect moment. But also, I think with everything that's going on in the world, Carlos, I think Tank was taking a moment to talk to his Holy Spirit. That's all. You know, don't in Muslims, they bow down. I think that's what it was. I think Tank forgot he didn't pray long enough, and he wanted to goddamn give a prayer. That knockdown doesn't get him a 10-8 round, because then he will have to go on an execution mission. He would go on a mission that at the end of it, they may want to see him in person to commission. They may want to see him at the station. They say, Mr. Davis, I understand you get paid to fight in a combat sport as boxing. I know you get paid. But the ass whooping you put on that guy from DMV is just one of the worst we see in our lifetime. He's going to recover. But God damn it, all he keeps saying, no knockdown, no knockdown, no knockdown, no knockdown, no knockdown, no knockdown, no knockdown. He keeps saying that over and over again. I keep telling him, hey, you're in a bed. You're good. Your lunch is almost out on the way. No knockdown, no knockdown, no knockdown, no knockdown. I'm just saying. Tank was on his knees, man. How Steve and those golf balls he called eyes missed that call. I don't know, man. You know, Steve is the proprietor of missing the call. He is the sole proprietor, and he should be reprimanded or addressed as such by the fight fans and those who may be over him. But man, please, ain't nobody gonna reprimand that dude for that. Come on, man. You got a better chance at buying a carton of a dozen eggs for only 75 cents. You know what I'm saying? You got a chance of doing that. I agree. Tank would have been the Tank we know if that knockdown was counted. Absolutely, it would have been absolute. It would have set him OFF. Hey, these people knew it. These people knew it. They know, you know, my thought process is that, man. You know, I wasn't trying to really go into hypotheticals and spin it back too many times on the two judges who gave it a draw. If the knockdown would have been counted, who would have won the fight? I don't know, because I have to experience the moment in real time once Tank has determined that a knockdown has been recorded. He has now been given a knockdown. What's his mindset going to do? I think he would have crashed out. Oh, I didn't see that, big dog. I did not see it. Thanks for telling me, because I am not watching my phone. Man, shout out to the fam, Haynes Legacy, for the $10 Cash App supporting the channel. I really appreciate you, man. One love to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here thinking about you all the time, man. Hoping you get through it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you do everything you're supposed to do. May God be with you each and every day, man. And y'all, please keep your prayers for Haynes Legacy, who's in the hospital having these operations. You get it? You understand? Just do me that one favor, man. You know what I'm saying? To help this brother out with whoever your religion is, just give a prayer for Haynes Legacy every day. You know what I'm saying? And once again, one love to you. Thanks for the donation, the $10 donation in the Cash App, big dog. But I want to ask what y'all think. Like, how do y'all think this is going to play out right here? I want to bring up something like this, because Shakur Stevenson put out and said, and if Lamont can't get a rematch, I got a big fight for him and a world title shot against him. That's my bro. We definitely can make something happen. Good shit. So this is my curiosity, right? Okay, so if Shakur just finished fighting not too long ago, he beat the electrician in 9. I mean, a professional fighter. My bad. They say don't call him electrician, but that's his job. But anyway, and now Tank and Roach get out at the same time. So all three of these fighters have just gotten out the ring within the window of one another. Okay. So since everybody's talking about they want to see Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and they was all running around with their pull-ups on, talking about who is Tank gonna call out. He didn't call anybody out. Shouldn't the next fight, if not a rematch immediately, be Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson? I mean, why all of a sudden Shakur want to fight Lamont Roach? Because he feels that he's gonna stand right there in front of you, and it's all gonna be who has the quicker hands. You know what I'm saying? Why the sense of urgency? Now, one thing I can say about Shakur, he wasn't complaining about moving the fighter up from 130. He was going to fight Joe Cordina, but the fight fell apart. Okay? So he wasn't that guy that was up here complaining about fighting a fighter from 130. I mean, just a little time ago, he was at 130. You know what I'm saying? So I hope Lamont gets a rematch with Tank and nothing in between. Then we can get the fight with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Then we can get the fight with Stevenson. Because there is a scenario as always, right? Tank goes in here and fights Shakur for the unification at lightweight division. He beats him. He becomes the WBC and the WBA lightweight unified champion. Now, being that Shakur will be out the way, if Lamont Roach wanted to return to fight Tank Davis, the fight would be that much bigger because now Tank has 2 belts instead of 1, and also he's going to get more money. And, you know, that'll be a benefit for Lamont Roach to be able to step in there with Tank, who is now the unified lightweight champion for the first time in his professional career. So it can go many ways, man. It can go many ways. I know people gonna be tripping to my. And you saw how he slid that in there. Tank fights Shakur and he wins. You know, he go out there and fight Lamont Roach for the unified titles. Man, I don't know why he don't think Shakur can beat him after what Lamont Roach did to him. Hey, you're gonna see for yourself. You're gonna see for yourself. Either way, Tank selects to do it. Whether he fights Shakur first, which I would like, or Lamont Roach. I like both decision-making processes, okay? Now, whatever happens, when it happens, is the question. Is he going to fight the rest of this year? I mean, one more time this year, what's going to happen, man? Can he get back in fight camp? Is he totally healthy? That's what I want to know. But for Shakur is sending the message out there. The SOS is on X, and he's saying, Lamont, we can lock up. We can get that money. And I like that for Lamont. I'm glad the man's getting exposure that's positive. I'm happy that the people recognizing him off his performance with Tank, that he's not a bum that a lot of people was basically throwing him out to be. You know what I'm saying? They was just treating this man like Jamel Herring. How long y'all gonna mention Jamel Herring, boxing fans? I'm putting out a goddamn order. I'm putting out an order. Yes, sir. And that order is y'all need to stop using one fighter's name that's no longer relevant in the fighter that you're speaking on, just because something that they did that was special that didn't result in a loss in their current fight. People talk about Jamel Herring, him losing, Lamont Roach losing, but Jamel Herring didn't beat him tonight. Jamel Herring didn't beat him tonight. He fought Jamel Herring before the pandemic. And people still talking about, well, he lost to Herring. Hey, he lost to Herring. I know it's back in 2019, but he lost to Herring. Did he beat him tonight? Did Herring beat Lamont Roach tonight? No, he didn't. Leave the shit alone. Now, you're going to have people talking about This for Tank for the next 5 years. Hey, I know it ain't on the box rec because WCS gonna say that. But man, Tank knocked him down. I mean, Roach knocked Tank down, right? Y'all saw that fight? No, we didn't see it. Yeah, you did. You saw it. Steve Willis ignored it. So did they say it was a 10-8 round? No, they didn't say it, but he should have. He should have did his job. So I'm agree with WCS. I'm glad that Tank wasn't aware of that information. I'm glad it didn't register. Why you say that? It's fucking boxing. Yeah, because it's a medic over there for a reason. And I think he would have said, okay, you still my boy, but I gotta flatline you, bro. I gotta tell you that you have first class seats up to the upper room, and you're not gonna be there long. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go up there, and they're gonna put some ice on you, and they're gonna put some heat on your chest. They're gonna get you right. They're gonna give you a banana bag IV. They're gonna slap you around a little bit to get you back, coherent, and then they're gonna send you back down here the way you were. Okay, so you can get this post-fight interview. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So y'all newly Lamont Roach fans, welcome to the boxing fan club. I hope you picked up all your merch. You know what I'm saying? Letting everybody know you have joined the wagon ride. Show everybody your compassion. So we're gonna wait and see what happens with this. Real talk. We're gonna have to understand that it may take some time, for little time, in my opinion, if PBC comes back and say, let's get this rematch out the way. That's what I want to hear. Or if, to our surprise, Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis will be fighting in October and November. That'd be great. That'd be great, so we can put this to rest. You know what I'm saying? And we have time to put this appointment to rest. I want to see these two fight. I want them to get it over with. I don't want people bankrupting their integrity talking to me. I don't want you with chapter 13s up this bitch. You trying to goddamn just get everything consolidated, and you say, damn, I'm so far in debt. We're trying to support this motherfucking narrative that man, I'm fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I need to file chapter 2600, verse 12 and 13. That's what I need to do. But be patient, y'all. I hope the fight between Shakur and Tank happen this year. I really hope that we have an opportunity to see a great fight. I don't know what's going on with Schofield. I don't know if he's going to be in this equation anytime soon. I don't know. But this guy right here, he earns the first draw of his box rec. He earns the first draw. The hocus pocus of boxing is real, y'all. That's why I put this shit up. That's why I've been doing lives on the hocus pocus. The hocus pocus of boxing will always be the shakers and movers and role players that have the power to influence certain fights, whether they're big, you know what I'm saying, a top tier, medium tier, or a low to mid tier. There always going to be someone somewhere. The ones, once again, who will always influence the fight is the third man in the ring and the three judges outside. So that's 4 collective human beings, to include the doctor that's over there too, makes number 5. Then you have the commission, makes number 6, and all those other people that's connected to the promotion. Stop acting like you have to continue to preload. Yeah, it's almost like you do a dump, a data dump, and then you want to goddamn reset and provide updates that doesn't require you talking about what you already been over. So you'll do a data dump of this fight right here, and then you want to do an update download and come back in here and try your best to act like, well, I'm just gonna tell you like this. I blame Tank for the knockdown because, just like we talked about, it's honorable for Tank to snitch on himself and tell the people that, yes, indeed, I got a knockdown, and it was my fault that I didn't immediately spring up to my feet and say, stop, stop, stop. You must give me the count. Okay? Give me the count. I'm trying to change the way the people view me. I want to start with HONOR, honor. Courage, COUR, rage. Yeah, it's called courage, but it's called courage. Okay, and then commitment. You got to be committed to understand. That's all I'm saying. Be committed to understand. Be better fight fans. If you're gonna have these conversations throughout 2025, don't be mad at the person that is listening to what you're saying, and when they provide you with that slingshot response, don't take it personal. When they're basically itemizing your own words and they're prioritizing what you just said to give you a response, don't take it personal. All it is boxing talk and conversation. That's the essence of it all right there. If we had boxing talk and the temperature was the same, lukewarm all the time, it wouldn't be boxing talk. It would just be regular conversation, man, with unenthusiastic people. That's not the case here. Boxing talk allows the freaking the tone of voice to change. It allows strict responses. It allows people to speak and adamantly talk about what they believe in, what they think they seen, what they know they seen, and how they're processing the information to help you believe what they've seen and heard. And the way they're going to do it, they're going to try to break it down as best as they possibly can. Tank didn't lose. And no, I can't tell you what it would have been like if the knockdown happened. And you can't say, well, if the knockdown, did Lamont Roach win? If you all are out here with that type of stupidity, don't be mad when I sign your ass up for special ed boxing, where you got to go in the room, in-house detention, and first detox all that damn ignorance. You cannot ask somebody based off a draw if they would have called a knockdown, who would have won. You can, if you're all up here talking about Lamont Roach would have won. How? Because we have to depict it as if it happened in real time, and then we have to actually see it play out and how Tank is going to go about those last 3 rounds. If you can understand where I'm at with it, then you're trying too hard to reject the notion that it makes sense. You cannot ask anyone. Well, it's not, in my opinion, conducive to ask someone who would have won, being that it was a draw, if they would have counted the knockdown. We will have to be there in real time for them 2 fighters to be in the ring, and then the knockdown happened. He finished the count, and they continue to fight the remainder of the fight. Then we see if Lamont Roach would still be conscious. Okay? That's important right there. We want to be measured on our approach. We have to guess that Lamont Roach, based off the history of Tank, may not be properly present, coherent. He may not be conscious. There may be some twitching and some percolating. You understand? Percolating. That's what we see here. We brought him down here. He was shaking the whole way. That's called percolating. When someone generates energy in your body that you didn't expect, your body starts to percolate. Here comes the percolator. Here comes the percolator. Here comes the percolator. Oh, you know the percolator. Yeah, that's what happened. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help y'all understand that this is going to be going on all Monday. And people are going to be saying the same shit. Now, can you tell me if they would have scored the knockdown, would you give Lamont Roach to fight? No, I'm incapable of making that decision because Lamont Roach, for the last time, wasn't facing a Gervonta Tank Davis that had a knockdown called on him in a very closely contended bout. Capiche? Listen to me respectfully. If you're asking and proposing questions, who would have won due to the fight being a draw if Steve Willis would have called a knockdown? And you want them to say, well, I tell you, out here on the farm, the way we get answers, we take them out back. Yeah. And we found a big hornet's nest and tell them to stick their motherfucking hands in that shit. And that would get the answer that you want. Real talk. When we let them motherfuckers step in the bear trap, that'll get the answer you want. Once again, people, I'm explaining because there's going to be plenty of panels this week. All right? It is currently Monday morning. When you are proposed and asked and presented the question, who would have won if the knockdown would have happened? You say to yourself, it's impossible to say because we needed to see the reaction. We need to know how violent Tank would have become to basically say, I'm not losing that fight like this. Then he would have turned it on and say, oh, I gotta go knock Mom Dukes. You understand? I gotta go knock his ass out. And that's what Lamont Peterson would have said. Are we getting serious now? Oh man, the whole plan was not to get serious, do less damage, minimal damage, all limited damage. No, man, you got the knockdown right. I had the knockdown because I had shit in my eye from my loctician got down spraying some shit all over me, man. That shit was dripping off my head like glaze on a donut. That shit was getting all in my eye, goddammit. I thought it was cake icing. I couldn't see a motherfucking thing. I didn't want you to ever think that you hit me with something that knocked me out. I couldn't see your shit, bro. But just do me a favor once you wake up in the morning and reset. Do me this favor. Continue to pray and give thanks to the Most High, whoever they may be, that we didn't have to witness. We, as boxing fans, didn't have to witness Tank being called for a knockdown. Because goddamn it, El Chin Checker would have started checking Lamont Roach's chin cavity. He would have compromised that whole bilateral jawline, goddammit. If he would have got that 8 count, the whole nuance would have changed. People wouldn't be up here talking about, well, you're not giving them credit. You're saying Lamont Roach didn't do anything. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Lamont Roach got away with one. Lamont Roach was able to land a so-called shot to an impaired fighter that had to go take a timeout. The timeout didn't get him DQ'd. And that, my friends, is what life-changing events are about. If he would have been outside the ropes and came back, turned around, and Steve Willis was still counting, I think we would have seen a body, y'all. I think we would have seen a body. This is eliminating all and every discrepancy. To say this fight, the way it ended, would be much more clearer. See, right now it's full of controversy. It's, the shit wasn't called and then the scores came out. It's full of controversy right now. But people are so steadily trying to support Lamont Roach with, I don't have a problem with. It's just your agenda, your intentions behind it. You had ulterior motives. A lot of you all were supporting Lamont Roach because you didn't like Tank. Because you think he's not fighting any of the top competition. Oh, you're fakers. Oh, my God. Fraudsters. Fraudsters, bro. Fraudsters. Fraudsters, yo. See, one thing we have to understand about this boxing game is that opinions are a part of the overall information capacity. Opinions are a part of the overall information capacity. That means the information that we transmit amongst each other on certain topics and discussions, right? That would be right and wrong. That would be corrections, and that would be educational purposes, right? And we will also go through theories and scenarios. Y'all need to understand what scenarios, theories, all the hypotheticals, all the troubleshooting, brainstorming, freaking activities that we do. But make no mistake about it, goddammit. It gets a bit dangerous. Listen to some of you all change up your human conduct all because your fighter didn't come out with a fair shake and you feel some type of way about it. You act like this the only boxing match that we have this year. All I'm saying, you need to count your blessings. All those Shakur fans that was hoping that Lamont Roach went in here and beat, y'all need to pray, bro. Typically, religious people experience something that forces them to pray. And sometimes they experience shit that encourages them to pray. And then there's some events where they volunteer and pray. I think in this case, the tank haters who are wishing deep down inside that he wanted to come out there motherfucker on the wrong end, you need to volunteer and pray so this shit don't get dangerous for you. You got to go to work this week. Please, people, don't go up there taking out and trying to explain to every person that you think is a boxing fan that if the knockdown would have happened, it wouldn't have been a draw. So let me ask you this. I don't want to ask a leading question. Who do you think would have won the fight? You're doing yourself a disservice. I put as much goddamn all points bulletin out there as I possibly can to warn people about this type of freaking Q&A that's going on this week. For no compelling reason. We seen the retrograde. We seen it. 2 fighters showed up, 2 fighters fought, and no fighters won. So therefore, we have to look at the past and the recorded information, and we have to say to ourselves, hey, maybe next time, okay? Maybe next time you'll get it. Maybe next time. Seriously, maybe next time. Shout out to Squad Jones in the building. CJ Rich on deck. Salute. It's building. I ain't mad at PBC on a good show. Shout out to Gary Russell. Hell of a performance. I still like Rayo. He a dog. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad Antonio earned his first title. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe y'all didn't bet on Russell. I can't believe y'all didn't bet on Russell. I bet it on Russell, man. Look at that. Look at that right there. I hit on the freaking distance. The fight going the distance. See, I hit. Look, I hit even bigger on Edgar Berlanga when he fought Demond Nichols. Every now and then, I like going for the distance if that person has 17 wins, 17 knockouts. I say, nah, he going the distance on this one. He going the distance. Why? Because his last fight, he went the distance with Alberto Puello. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But hey, shout out to the house chat in the MFN game. A-Side official. We should do it again. Until next time, man, y'all hold it down. We'll be back on here tomorrow. And like I said before, when I was on the stroll, if you're one of them people or two of them people that's A-okay with another man saying your name out of disrespect, and you think that's something to laugh about and be happy and praise about, you're less of a man than you should be, especially at this age. Now, I'm pretty sure it's easy for certain people to say, well, you're being jealous. That's just this generation. They really don't listen. They really don't listen to anyone who's been living longer than them. But I'm gonna tell you, this social media is gonna be the death of a lot of people when it comes to them going through a culture shock when they get deep into their 60s and they've chosen to keep this as their primary job, and they're gonna have an epiphany, and that epiphany is gonna be, damn, do I have health insurance? And am I building a pension? Do I have a 401k? What has this social media blend did for me on the back end of my career? You know what I'm saying? So when y'all continue to go at these boxers and say negative shit just for them to mention my name, I don't want no boxer to mention WCS and saying F him. For what? Why would I respect the fighter enough for them to acknowledge alike, but a lot of these fighters don't even acknowledge when you're really rocking with them positive. They want to address people who've been talking shit about them. Can I stop that? No, I'm not trying to. They grown ass freaking men. But to be known for fighters to say F you and you think it's hilarious, well, you should say the same thing for the people that you run in on the YTC that says F you. You shouldn't be mad at all because you like it when a boxer said. You know what I'm saying? You like it when a boxer said. And I can't get with these boxers either. These boxers be entertaining niggas that don't fuck with them. But yet, when you got somebody that really fuck with you, y'all call it clout chasing. And then the niggas that's damn saying negative shit about you, that who is truly clout chasing, you give them the clout. That shit crazy. Hey, y'all hold it down, man. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. We should do it again. I'm out.